This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where tonight my friends and I will be playing the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is called Moonchild. It was written by Paul Fricker, and it's part of the collection Nameless Horrors. It's available from Chaosium and Drive-Thru RPG. Our keeper of arcane lore is Mike Machen, and this is episode 2. Our recap will be given by Justin Bumgardner as his character, Nurse Jean Vincor. So, without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Justin.
Thanks, Tom. Jules, I am recording this for you. I hope that I never have to actually send this message to you, but if I feel like I'm not going to make it, I'm going to have to. See, let me slow down. You can tell this story if anything happens to me, but even if even if what I am about to tell you sounds crazy, it all began when some old friends of mine contacted me via Facebook, and I thought it might be nice to reconnect with them and reminisce. Sarah Moore is the one that brought us all together, and I haven't seen some of these people in over 20 years. But we were all part of the Northtown University Occult Society, or the NUOS, back in college. Now, I know what you're thinking, but, I never took this stuff too seriously. Honestly, I just thought it was all a bunch of Ozzy Osbourne wannabes that were into black magic and so forth. But to tell you the truth, that part of my life is a blur. I was a addict at the time, and my memories of what went on in that club are not so clear, and that's true for that part of my life in general. But I had a chance to reunite with some of the old members of the group at a local cafe, and this included Sarah Moore, who works at the local college. I knew that she was a single mom. I knew that she had a teenage daughter named Angelica, but I hadn't been in contact with her in quite a few years. And as I said, Sarah is the one that organized this meeting at the cafe and brought us all here. Also, there was Eric Wilson, the accountant. He was treasurer of our organization back in the day. And then there's Alicia, who has since become an antiques dealer. Poor Alicia has recently become widowed. She lost her husband, Gary, tragically. And then there was Ray West. Ray works in IT. He's got the cutest dog you've ever seen, named Bowser, or really just a lovely little dog. And then there was Melinda Moody, the journalist. Yeah, she was going through a pretty rough divorce. And finally, there was Maggie Stern. She manages an occult bookshop. I like Maggie, but she has quite the potty mouth, and still to this day. Well, back when we were in the occult society, we were all members of an inner circle that was led by a man named David Barber. And then as we got together at the cafe, Sarah began telling us a crazy story that David wanted to create a Moonchild with Sarah. And in fact, Sarah tells us that's what they did. And even though David is married to Bridget, who's another former member of our occult society, Sarah and David ended up having a son who was named Sean, and he's 9 years old. But then things started to get even stranger when Sarah told us that Sean was blessed by the goddess. I don't know. We asked, and apparently this is some type of moon goddess. But Sarah was asking for our help. She told us that David wants to take Sean away from her after she had raised him as a single mom for 9 years. David told her that the goddess demands payment in blood, and specifically in the blood of the members of the occult society. That's meaning us? Well, we began to hear some disturbing tales, such as Stacy Kimball, one of the other old members of our society. Apparently, Stacy is in a psychiatric department at a hospital. I wondered if this could be where we work. I guess I should check on Stacy soon. But then Sarah told us that David's son Michael was experiencing cancer and that this cancer was now in remission. However, we just learned that Eric was recently diagnosed with the same kind of cancer, and Sarah seemed to think that the two events were related, implying that David somehow used magic to transfer Michael's cancer to Eric. Crazy. But Alicia's husband, Gary, had died in a motorcycle accident tragically, but yet Sarah seemed to suggest that David told her that it was no accident. Sarah believes that the goddess had something to do with it. David experienced a mental breakdown in his last year of college. Ray confirms this. Ray says that David had pushed all his friends away. Apparently, David had experienced a profound personality change after these events. I remember David as a cool person, but then again, I have not seen him in many years. And based on what we've heard from Sarah, it sounds like David has turned into a real asshole. But anyway, it was at this time that we began to notice that we all have the same scar on our right palm. I've had this scar a long time, and I could never remember how it got there. I have many scars on my body, most of which are self-inflicted from my younger days. But when I began to talk about this with my friends at the cafe, some of the memories came pouring back. The scars that we all have on our palms came from a bone knife, from a ritual that took place in the woods after we were all drugged and drunk. I became worried that perhaps David had marked us for death during this strange ceremony. I know it sounds crazy, but at this point, Sarah went to the restroom and she was followed by Maggie. And Maggie discovered that Sarah had a black eye and track marks on her arm, which she later disclosed to me. So apparently, sadly, Sarah has become a drug addict. And then the strange things really began to happen in and around the cafe. Melinda went over to look at the missing person sign. And she claims that she saw David's face on it, even though none of the rest of us could see it. A woman was reading a book that Ray believed was written by him, and the woman had bloody eyes, but it turned out that the book was different than what Ray had thought that it was. Alicia witnessed what she thought was a motorcycle wheel going down the road. And then eventually there was a bus outside the cafe that appeared to hit a person. But being a nurse, when I went out to check and give medical aid, no one was there, even though the bus driver claimed that he was sure that he had hit somebody. When we asked Joe, the waiter at the cafe, if Sarah had come in with anybody else, he described three people that Sarah would come in to this cafe with. One was a big guy that was bald and bearded. A second was a dark-haired woman. And a third man was somebody who we believe must be David Barber. But Sarah suddenly fainted, and I went to check on her, and she was quite dehydrated. She clearly had a severe drug addiction, and we decided to take her home where she lives in Meadow Hills, which, sad to say, is a seedy part of town. But As we got together in our cars to go to Sarah's home, I noticed that you tried to call me, Jules, but unfortunately, I didn't have time to pick up and talk with the urgency concerning Sarah. I hope you can understand. But when I looked in the seat of my car, I saw cockroaches. And when I went around to the other side to try to shoo the cockroaches out of the car, there weren't any. But this took me back to a bad memory I had in my youth after college. There was a period of time that I was homeless and I was deeply addicted. And I saw cockroaches crawling over a friend that I had made who was also homeless, and then only to discover that the man was dead. What a terrible memory. That's not the memory I wanted to have come back. But even the ride to Sarah's house was eventful. Maggie almost ran over a kid and she screamed at him. Apparently, Sarah's personality is also very unstable. It's not just the drug addiction. She seems to have a split personality where at one minute she's being kind and asking us for help, and then the next moment she's threatening us. In one of her darker moments, Sarah insisted that Gary was murdered by them and that Eric was next. Well, eventually we got to Sarah's home, and that's where we are now. At this point, I'm thinking about using my tarot cards to look for some insight at these strange events. The tarot cards are the only kind of magic that I have ever seen that seems to be real. The readings of the cards have been extremely accurate at crucial periods of my life. It was through a tarot card reading that I decided to seek counseling, which eventually helped me get my life back on track all those years ago. Alicia and the others made fun of me when I suggested using the tarot cards, but I don't know. We may need some divination if we are to get to the bottom of all this. I know, it sounds crazy. But at this point, we will see what we can learn at Sarah's house. I would like to talk to her son and daughter. After that, I would like to locate Stacy Kimball, and eventually we may need to confront David Barber. What? Wait. What is Maggie yelling about now?
All right. Very well done. Very comprehensive, Matt. You nailed it, Justin. And yes, what are you yelling about, Maggie?
Well, Maggie just looked up in the window and she saw a boy, and it's the same kid that ran out in front of her Jeep. So she screams at him. She looks at him. She's like, "You little shit!" So since Ray was riding over with me, I'm gonna go to Ray first and just point up. Look, it's the kid. Look up in the window. It's the kid who ran in front of the car.
Ray, when you look up,
Sarah's son.
You see the curtains of the upstairs room move as though someone was just there, but they've already dashed into the house away. Maggie, the last thing you saw of him was just that same blonde-haired kid with a kind of goofy-looking smile waving down at you excitedly.
Little shit.
Oh, well, this is no good, Maggie. If Sarah's letting her young children run around the town.
He's in no position to be raising children right now. Not that I think David's any better.
As the two of you are having As the two of you are having this exchange, the others are already stepping into the house ahead, and you're coming up behind, entering the house kind of and slowly dropping your voices as you realize you're getting within earshot of Sarah. From inside the house, the others, your eyes are adjusting. It's still early afternoon and it's a bright day outside, and you are still feeling a little wary of your vehicles in this neighborhood and everything else going on, but you're immediately stepping into this house that smells stale. There's a kind of an oppressive weight in the air. And you hear the sound of carefully controlled explosion from nearby to your immediate right from the door. Machine gun fire, and you can see lights bouncing off the wall coming from the projection of the TV screen, and you're stepping into the living room. A young boy is sitting, staring, kind of his face just kind of partially opened to kind of where you stand. He seems completely focused on the game. He hasn't even realized that, and you maybe heard him murmur something like, "Hey, Mom," without turning to look or anything as she came in. He's utterly engrossed in the game. You see it looks like some kind of first-person shooter game. He is playing on you'd estimate maybe 75-inch, 80-inch TV, and that takes up a large portion on the wall on the far side of the room. The rest of the room is almost completely empty. He sits on the floor. There is kind of one remaining kind of chair in the room behind him against the wall. It looks in rough shape. You can see there are crumpled bags of fast food kind of scattered around nearby. He's got a large bag beside him of potato chips that is open, and he kind of continues to play his game, kind of staring with a bit of a sickly pallor to his face as he plays.
Well, if you're trying to keep your kid distracted, this is how you do it. I mean,
that's an awfully big television set.
Yeah, Sarah says David bought it for us for last Christmas. He was it was very generous of him to do that. And you get the feeling that there's empty boxes, there's garbage, there's kind of debris around the room. And she looks back to Alicia.
Yeah. Is your daughter here?
Oh yeah, no, she was doing some kind of course at the school. Did I tell you she's upgrading, right? But she should be home soon, I think. I can try to text her. Give me a second. If it's okay with you guys, make yourselves at home. I'm just going to go upstairs and just freshen up for a second, but feel free to make yourself at home. I'll be back as soon as I can.
She goes up the stairs.
Yeah. I go into the kitchen and see if I can find a bin liner, because I can't feel at home with all of this mess stuff going on there. It just drives me crazy. So I'm afraid I don't want to be a servant, but I just can't stand seeing this crap around.
Yeah.
I hope she's not going upstairs to do some or whatever.
Maybe. Maggie, I have a feeling like you have a question too.
Yeah, if this is Sean, this little kid here, then it must have been her. What was his name? Michael, the other son. Well, what was his name? Was Michael. That must have been Michael, the blonde, right? The one that ran in front of my Jeep.
But how's that possible, Maggie? He couldn't have run faster than the car and get here.
Yeah, it seems
we have no idea who that kid was.
Seems strange, maybe that
in the window.
Michael Barber would be here, being Michael's son with Bridget.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but maybe there is somebody else in the house.
I'm going to look at Sean, and I'm watching him play his video game, and I'm going to wait until there's like a period, because I don't want to like make him upset by interrupting his game, but I'm going to wait until like maybe there's a period like where there's a pause in the game, maybe he finishes a level, or maybe his character dies or whatever, where I can kind of talk to him.
You kind of glance from him to the screen and back to him, and you can see on the screen characters wielding some kind of assault rifle or something like that and blasting people through some kind of war-torn landscape. And you can see that he's got on the bottom a little gamer tag that says killer 568 or something like that as his code. And you can see that he's shooting at someone who's firing back for a few minutes. They exchange weapon fire. The other person ducks behind a building, and you realize quickly that seems pretty good at the game. He's quite capable, and kind of ducks around the other side. And you can see Cabrera 49 take a shot to the face before it disappears. And just as that happens, their mine or something goes off in the game, and you can see bits of splatter third person now as parts of his avatar are destructed in front of you. And you see Sean snarls and kind of puts his controller down for a second, and he turns to face you and says, "You distracted me."
Oh, Sean, I didn't mean to distract you. I didn't mean to say a thing at all. I was just quietly watching. But
who are you anyway?
I'm John. I'm a friend of your mom's.
Oh, yeah, one of mom's friends. Great.
Yeah. It's good that your mom has some friends. So she told me so much about you. She told me what a great kid you are, how proud she is of you.
Oh yeah, really? Huh, I bet.
Yeah.
And he presses start, and you see his character respawning on the screen. I'll let you give me a social roll to try to keep his
Yes, I got
interested.
persuade. I'm trying to persuade him to put the video game down for a few seconds to at least have a conversation with
Yeah.
me. That's what I'm trying to do. So let's see. That is an 89, which is not going to be a pass, unfortunately.
Okay. As you kind of make small talk with him, you get a uh-huh, and you realize quickly that he is completely focused on the game in front of him.
Yeah. Maybe dealing with kids isn't John's strong suit.
All good. So beyond the living room, actually, I'm going to send you guys a picture of the floor plan of the house here. You've walked through the front door into a living room, and through a door on almost directly parallel to the door you came in leads to a small hall with stairs going up to the second floor. Right from there goes into a second door that's pretty much opens into the kitchen, and that's more or less the extent of the house. You can see a back door in the kitchen that looks out into a small kind of cramped yard. Sarah's disappeared up the stairs in between the living room and the kitchen, but there's not a lot else on the main floor. You can for Melinda, who goes right into the kitchen, you can see there's a small pantry that's kind of tucked in behind where the stairs have gone up. And Melinda, right away, you see the kitchen is in a bit of a state of disrepair. There's cupboards that doors are open. There's a pile of dirty dishes in the sink. There's the place looks very, very neglected.
Yeah, I'm not going to do the washing up, but I just want to pick up as much trash as I can. I will feel happier if I do that. And is there anything noteworthy that I find amongst the debris?
As you move towards the stovetop and kind of the fridge towards the corner, you do see something that catches your eye specifically, and maybe it's something that triggers for you specific memories too, and you can see just kind of eye height level with you in the wall, just kind of kitty corner to the fridge, a roughly fist-sized hole in the wall.
Wow. And that's to an external wall or an internal?
That would be to an external wall, yes. Yeah, right. Towards the backyard. And you can see it's not breaking through the house, it's just breaking through into the through the drywall, essentially.
All right. Okay. Peer in carefully.
Yeah, you can see dust and debris and other stuff inside. You get the sense that somebody lost their patience and basically took a swing at the wall.
Okay. So nothing in there. Well noted. This is all very sad.
As you think about that for a second, can you think of a time when you saw a hole in the wall smashed by someone in anger, yourself or anyone else?
There was a time when I not a hole smashed in a wall, but there was a time when I saw a door wrenched off its hinges. That was I was much younger when I got married. I was too young, really. And it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. After the breakup of the NUOS, I hung out more with my with my cheerleading friends, and one of them in particular, who Tyler, who became my husband. But it wasn't that I didn't want to be faithful to someone. It's that I felt I had a calling, I felt I had this superpower to make men happy, make sad men happy, and that it was kind of my duty to fix everyone through being caring and friendly and flirty and more sometimes. And I guess I hadn't grown up because that's not the expectation of marriage that my husband had. But he had his own issues, and I'm quite petite, and he used to call me his little bird as he threw me up in the air and caught me. Like he was saying, he would say, "Oh, I will let you go," and he'd throw me up, and if you love someone, set them free. And then he'd throw me up, and then he'd catch me, and he'd say, "Aha! Well, that proves, you see, that you love me, that I've let you go." But I was really a child in those times. But that doesn't excuse his anger, and it got worse. So I'm kind of there in the kitchen, and I'm sort of in a reverie as I remember the way that things went down. There was and then he accused me of putting on weight in order to drive him away. That he said that this was being passive aggressive, and there was one occasion, he threw me up in the air. Sometimes we'd even wear our Northwest costumes for this. It was kind of a game with us. But there was one occasion when as he caught me, he said, "Oof, you've been putting on weight, haven't you?" And that was really the beginning. Oh, God, God, God. And so it goes on. I mean, I'm a snap out of this. It's just, it just brings me back to a dark time that I never want to go back to. And I'm sorry that Sarah is having to face this.
Let's pan over to Eric. As Eric, you've stepped into the house with the others. The smell and the weight of the stale air in this house, and the feeling of, or the scent of kind of rotten food, or just something about it, it almost turns your stomach, and your stomach has been more sensitive than ever lately, anyways. What's something that you find in the house that repels you?
I would say it's like the sense of neglect. Like he has a decent amount of legal knowledge. He knows that if any social worker comes to this house, they're going to immediately see this as a case of child neglect and probably, take the child away. And this reminds him of both in college, after college, and for a period after college where, his own personal space, his living space was a place no one should see because it showed the type of person it was. It showed his habits, and it showed him his neglect. And he just thinks that if, anyone ever saw him in that position, they'd, never, they go away from him. So he's now here, and he's thinking this is exactly the same situation I'd have been in if someone went into my own space.
Do you think that Alicia would ever believe that you were in that place?
I don't think she would.
Yeah.
Outside the occult club, Alicia has only seen me at my best, both financially mainly, but also just I put on a face.
Let's scroll over to Ray. Ray, you're coming into the house. Presumably Bowser's with you.
Yeah, as soon as Bowser starts going for a fast food bag, I'm gonna pull him back outside and leave the door open to stand there. This whole thing is rather disturbing. But so I'm kind of aware of what's going on the street as well as just waiting to see what happens inside.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. What are you thinking about?
Well, I'm trying to decide whether I think that we need to have the kids taken somewhere else because that's a very heavy decision. But until Sarah proves herself to us. That's probably what I'm going to push for.
That's an interesting way to phrase that. Proves herself to you. That implies a bit of skepticism. And as someone with some connections to David in the past, is there a level in you, do you think, that you're starting to believe that maybe Sarah might have been lying, possibly about some things?
Oh, I think that she believes everything that she's saying, but that doesn't mean that it's true. And yeah, if we get her away from him and clean her up, she could be a functioning person.
Awesome. Okay. So Alicia, you've headed inside and you see that Ray kind of pauses after Bowser goes for some food inside the living room, and he kind of heads outside. And you're standing in the living room right now as the others. You see Melinda has moved into the kitchen. Maggie's kind of standing at the edge, maybe at the bottom of the stairs, kind of half looking up the stairs and half looking back in and looking at Sean. John has moved over and kind of is crouching beside where Sean's playing. What are you going to do?
Well, I'm concerned for Sarah, but at the moment I'm completely distracted. I think on the way here, I feel like I'm a compassionate person and I feel sorry for Sarah, and I'm not sure there's anything that we can really do to help her. We think that we're helping, but we've all got our own personal problems. And I think the worst one for me right now is this adorable little boy being left alone by himself and playing a violent video game. And in that child, there's so much potential, and yet it's just being thrown away like garbage. My husband Gary and I found out rather early that I couldn't conceive. And we tried for 6 years to adopt a child, and they kept passing us by. So I ache on the inside for a child to raise well. And this child is just being, and there's nothing I can do. If I could, I'd grab the child, I'd run away, we'd live somewhere, I'd make him happy. But I know that's not realistic and can't really happen. So I'm really at a loss for what to do. I want to help Sarah, but I don't want to help Sarah. I think our interference is just her way of trying to cope with her situation. And it's not really any of our business. So I'm tied up. I can't do anything.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
Standing there confused.
You talk about the potential of Sean and seeing him there, his mouth kind of slightly hanging open as his eyes stare at this game, and then the occasional kind of unconscious hand moves down and reaches into the thing and stuffs more chips in his. You're having a hard time not sympathizing for him, but as a normal kid, to be honest with you, for all Sarah's claims, there's nothing about Sean that seems special, to be honest. And in fact, if anything, he's it's terrible. Like, he's a victim. This is he's living in squalor. You seriously wonder if he's had anything other than this bag of chips to even eat all day.
Yeah.
And
children are vessels that you need to fill with something. And he's just sitting there wasting away. I'm not sure that I would agree with Ray. Unless there's abuse, I don't advocate taking a child away from its mother. But I mean, I don't know. I'm confused and upset. And not sure that I can handle it.
Yeah. Okay, well, we've had a chance to check in with each of you. Do any of you have any particular goals in the house? You're free to, obviously, right now, to roam the main floor between the living room, kitchen, pantry. There is a backyard, as well as you could venture up the stairs as well. There's Sean right now. You're free to, I think at the very least, Melinda's probably found a garbage bag by now and has maybe moved back into the living room and is inspecting and scooping a few things up. But for any of the six of you, anyone have anything in mind?
I think Maggie's very confused because she saw somebody in the window that obviously was not Sean. She's convinced it's the kid that ran in front of them. Her first thought was maybe it was one of David's other son, but she just had no idea. So I think she's going to go upstairs, kind of partly to check on Sarah again, like she did in the bathroom, but more she just wants to kind of take a look to see if there's anybody else up there.
No. Okay, sounds good. Who else? How about John?
John, he just failed a persuade roll with Sean, but he's determined to talk to this kid and get him to put the controller down. So I was wondering if John could push the roll on the persuade.
Yeah, let's do this. I love it. Okay, don't roll yet. Let me check in where everyone else is going, and then we'll circle back to that. Yep.
Okay.
How about Eric?
I'm going to go into the kitchen and do the dishes.
Oh, you're going to start filling the sink up with
just because doing the dishes is where I do my thinking, and I'm honestly, selfishly thinking that hopefully I'll be so disgusted that I'll just leave. And I feel guilty because I feel that way.
Yeah.
So I might as well do something useful.
Yeah. Alicia, yeah, I can't just sit around when there's a mess like that. It just does my head in. Yeah.
I know. Let's work together the nice thing we can do is clean the place up for her.
I can't find a clean tea towel for doing the drying. Let's just let the things soak when they're washed. Looking out into the backyard, is there like a basketball hoop or something? Is there any indication of childhood activity there?
No, maybe a few old toys here and there scattered around and they look neglected. It's incredibly overgrown. You can see that there is a shed off to the side, overgrown grass. It looks like a very pathetic looking garden, but not a lot else back there. You can't really see much of the shed from here. And you do see there is a back gate that looks a little bit ajar. There's a few pieces of wood missing from the fence here and there. Let's circle over. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, I'm going to hang around and do a decent job cleaning up. But in the end, I'm going to go out in the garden and see have a look back to get some fresh air apart from anything else.
Sounds good. Okay, and how about Eric and Ray? Ray's outside in the front. You're maintaining a post there for now?
Eric probably nods to Ray through either the open or screen door, and he takes a stack. I assume there's a stack of mail near the door, and kind of dusts off a spot on the stairs and sits down there. And one by one, he's going to start looking through the envelopes. Maybe not quite opening them unless they're interesting, but I want to see, is she even paying her bills? Is this sustainable? She's going to be here much longer anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds good. Let's circle back to Maggie then, as Maggie is. Are you how are you going up the stairs? Are you being very clear, or are you kind of testing the steps to see if they're going to creak? Do you have an interest in stealth or just heading right up?
I don't think I'm going to act like I'm sneaking. I think I'm just going to go up the stairs. Does this place look old and rickety, or is it just Kind of a urban
if anything,
housing kind of thing.
Yeah, more kind of cheap, and it's a little bit old. It hasn't been taken care of. As you walk up the steps, you can see places where things have been spilt on the carpet on the stairs or on the wall. You could see several dings in the wall and bumps. You can see there's literally not a single picture of artwork or family photos or anything like that. The walls are bare pretty much. You increasingly have the feeling that given your current kind of assessments of the situation, it wouldn't surprise you if Sarah's probably, whatever she did have at one time, she's probably sold or pawned or found some way to trade off just about everything they own for drug money.
And so I see when I get up to the top of the stairs, looks like there's like maybe 3 doors up on the landing. One goes to the bathroom, and then the other 2 to bedrooms.
Yeah.
Are any of the doors open? Is Sarah's door open?
Yeah, the door to your immediate right, which you'd guess would be maybe the master bedroom, and that would be with the windows that would be looking out to the front of the house that you probably saw the kid through. That door is closed, and to your left, you can see the kind of L-shaped room hooks around, and you can see there's an open door to the washroom, and then kind of further around is a door that is open, and you can see it looks into what looks like a single bedroom. You can see kind of just the edge of 2 beds. There is kids' clothes littering the floor on one side, but otherwise, other than I'll leave it at that, actually.
I think the door that's open, the kids' bedroom, I would assume with the 2 beds, I'd probably just peek her head in, but realizing that the master bedroom is probably where Sarah is, and since that's the window, she saw the person. She's kind of curious. I think I will knock on the door first, though, before I just barge in. But then I will try it. After I knock, I'm not going to wait for a response. I'm still going to go in.
Yeah. Well, looking into the kids' room first, you see the kind of, from your knowledge, Angelica and Sean are maybe about 8 or 9 years apart in age. And you can see clearly there's almost a split in the room, and maybe they even have made agreements or arrangements on there being some kind of imaginary or invisible line, because you can see very much on one side is scattered kind of discarded plastic kids' toys, and then on the other side is very much the paraphernalia of the kind of typical life of a teenage girl. Band posters on the wall. You can see a wardrobe that's you can even at a glance you can very clearly recognize which side of the room is Angelica's and which side is Sean's. It's empty.
I don't think I'm going to go peeking through it. I think I'm more interested in the master bedroom, and just, also to check on Sarah. But I am really curious to see if there's anyone else in there besides her, because it's disturbing me now, like who this could possibly be that I saw.
And you knock on the door, and for a second, and I guess, essentially you don't hear anything back.
I'm going to try the knob and just walk in and just be like, Sarah?
No, the knob is locked.
Sarah, I'm going to knock louder.
Roll a listen check for me.
I get base. That's a 70. I over 20, so I failed.
Okay. After a kind of few seconds pause, you hear kind of the faint voice of Sarah say, "Oh, coming." And predictably after that, you hear the click of the lock on the inside, and the door opens inwards to reveal her face. Roll a psychology roll.
That's a 56 over a 40, so that's a fail too.
Okay. She said, "Oh, thank you. Sorry, I just needed a few minutes. Are you okay, Maggie?"
Yeah. Is there somebody else in here besides you?
Oh shit! No, it's just been me since I came in. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a who am I kidding? The whole house is a disaster, but the room's not great, and you can see past her into the room. You can see lots of kind of small packing. It's almost as though she moved into this place and never completely unpacked. There's kind of boxes, and you can see that in some cases the box have been kind of pillaged, and almost like there's clothing hanging out the sides of it, and out of sides, as though she like frantically was digging through them at some point. And you can see that there's, again, other than really a mattress on the floor, there's no other furniture really of no, or sorry, not a mat, but a mattress on a very low frame, I guess. And you can see kind of soiled-ish looking blankets over top of it, and a kind of door off to a small closet kind of on the far end of the room.
Are there any dressers or bureaus or something with a surface? I just kind of glancing, like trying to see if I see drug paraphernalia or maybe some powder of some kind or anything, just to see if, not to judge, but just to get an idea if she was just using it.
Okay, give me a spot hidden.
That is 39 under 40, so just
barely. And don't forget, all the characters do have luck. I should have mentioned you have luck, and you can also push rolls, of course. But and as you're looking, you think back to that couple seconds before she came to the door, and you can kind of see, you get the feeling that there's a spot on the bed on the wrinkled kind of blankets and sheets that is a little bit depressed down, and you can almost make out the sign of maybe a box that got shoved under the bed or something like that. And you get the feeling that maybe she was doing something, and she looks at you and says, I am feeling a ton better now. Maybe we should go down and check on the others. I hope you guys helped yourself to the fridge. I know that there's probably a few beers in there in case any friends or something came over. You can help yourselves.
Are you going to come down with me now?
Yeah. It's I really should check on Sean. Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's go back downstairs then.
Yeah. Maggie, thank you again. You know what? It means the world to me that you guys care. I was really worried that this was, I don't know, I just feel sometimes like so alone. God, I can't even begin to tell you. You've given me a lot of stuff. I'm like, honestly, fuck David. I'm starting to think.
We want to help you. We really do. We're your friends. You've been friends for years. Maybe we haven't seen each other as much as like when we were in college, but we want to help you, but you gotta have to help yourself too. You can't keep going on like this. This is not a good environment for your son or your daughter. We got to do something to try to improve your situation here, but you're going to have to be part of that.
I know. I of course, you're right. You're right. Listen, could you maybe just go easy around Sean on talking about it? I mean, oh God, that TV David gave us is like, it was a big deal. He just thinks so highly of his dad, and I don't want to ruin that, but
yeah, I know that we shouldn't say a lot of things in front of a child, especially when since David is his parent and he knows that, right? So obviously we don't want to create that kind of damage, but we do need to talk. But you can't have your son living like this, or your daughter. We need to fix this. We need to find some help for you so you can help yourself get out of this situation.
Thank you, Maggie. You're really good. And as she says that, you hear thump as something hits the floor coming from the closet.
What was that?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't think I heard it.
Maggie's going to go right to the closet and just like past her to open the closet door. oh God, what am I getting into?
Okay. And stepping past her to the far corner, you swing the door open, and we're going to just quickly swoop downstairs for a moment. That's Alicia and Melinda. You are getting through the dishes. You've been going pretty quickly. You can see that some of them are fairly caked on. Eric is standing not far away from you, maybe looking a little bit nauseous, while Ray's still kind of out in the front, and John's just about to make another attempt with Sean. You've more or less finished the dishes. They're in a stack. Melinda's dried them and kind of meandered out into the backyard, maybe. And Alicia, you're still kind of setting a few things up. And you happen to notice something on the floor behind the fridge.
What now?
Yeah. It
Is
just
there
looks
like a stain or a broom or?
No, it's actually a piece of paper, and it's something that you've yet to see in this house. And you realize now that as you kind of know, almost as you pick it up and pull it out, what you're looking at. It's a family photo. And you can see Sarah on it, not looking a whole lot better than she looks now, but doing her best to hide it. Her gaunt, emaciated frame is very clear, and she sits, and this is your first time maybe in years seeing the face of David Barber smiling at you from the picture. He's gained weight, he's older, he's grayer, but it's him. And you see a young woman, probably 19-ish, 20 years old, vaguely maybe gothish or emo kind of stylings, but and then Sean stands kind of placidly staring at the camera from the center.
So the woman is not Bridget because she's too young?
No, you would have to guess that it's Angelica, Sarah's daughter, through another partner.
Right. Okay. Well, I look at it. I might lean over and show it to Melinda.
Yeah.
But my intention is to look and see if there's a refrigerator magnet that it fell out of,
and you see further a little bit behind the fridge. Yeah, you're able to find it, and as you pull it out, you realize that it is kind of a little moon symbol on it, even as a little moon kind of cut out. It maybe David laying it on a little bit thick, perhaps.
Yeah,
but
no.
Gonna have you give.
Yeah.
Give me a combined spot hidden or psychology roll, please. And Melinda, I'll let you get in on this as well.
No, 97.
Oh, no. Oh, you're muted. Sorry, Melinda.
Yeah, it's good to go on mute, but then I forget to take myself off mute. Makes me wonder, do we know who Angelica's father is?
No,
and also, who was the bearded guy in the coffee shop? And also, who made this hole in the wall? And also, who gave the black eye to Sarah? Because she said that it wasn't David. And honestly, random violence does not seem like David's MO. I mean, he's too, he's too powerful for that.
I don't know. I have a feeling, dear, that Sarah's life is more complicated than we're going to find out.
Yeah.
Little Sean's reaction did seem a little bit like, oh, you're another man in the house. Like maybe she's had a few boyfriends along the way.
Melinda, why don't you make that spot hidden psychology roll as well?
Well, I've got the psychology at 30. I've rolled 32, so I'll spend 2 luck.
Okay.
To make it.
There are things you can tell in pictures of people, like whose eyes meet and who is looking at who, and whose hands might be lingering on whose knees. And it's very clear to you that David is almost completely ignoring Sarah in favor of Angelica.
Yeah.
Oh my. See that hand? See that
Yes,
hand there, Alicia?
What have we gotten ourselves into? But we don't know anything. And the only one who can do anything about it is Sarah, if she comes forward. For us, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. But what can we do about it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and I see that boy, sweet little boy now. But if he's doing the same thing when he's 18, it's not so sweet. If he's doing the same thing when he's 25 and 35 and 45, I mean, it's
he's 9
awful.
now. He's already missing the best years for, training a child.
I mean, I remember growing up. There was a yard, and my brothers were in there, and there was a basketball hoop. So baseball hoop. There was a basketball hoop there, and they were out all hours. Brothers patting the ball with one another, and there's nothing here. It's just there's just that screen.
I don't see. A child isn't a pet. You don't just give it some food and a toy to play with and then walk away. It's not a hamster in a cage or a guinea pig. It's disgusting. I just, how did she get herself into this mess? And how is she ever going to get herself out of it? She keeps pretending like nothing's wrong, which makes it almost impossible for her to find her way out of it. And there's not much we can do because we're just other voices that she won't listen to.
Something has got to happen in a way to touch her, but it can't be but the problem is that oftentimes these events, they're kind of too heavy in terms of what happens. Like there can be a fight, there can be a house can burn down. I mean, these are the things I spend my working life, writing stories for the Enquirer. So I've seen a lot of bad outcomes for this kind of thing, and but in the end, maybe it's the best thing if Sean is taken into care.
Child Protective Services.
Child Protective Services.
The problem will be is Child Protective Services won't listen to any of us. They'll come out to investigate. But if she puts on a show and pretends like nothing's wrong, they won't do anything. They can't do anything.
As the two of you continue to talk, we'll swivel back to the living room where John is trying to make a connection. Where John is trying to make a connection with Sean. Eric, we'll include you in this scene as well, as you've been kind of maybe meandering back and forth to listening to some of the girls talk in the kitchen, back to the living room to watch as John interacts with Sean. John, you were going to push your persuade roll.
Yes. In terms of how I'm pushing it, on my first persuade, I was really trying to be careful not to interrupt his game and to wait until there was a break. And on this persuade roll, I'm not intimidating. I'm still persuading, but I'm basically saying you need to put the video game down, and you need to talk to me. So I'm being much more firm this time. So we'll see if this backfires or not. I got a 60 in persuade, so. That is a failed push roll.
Okay.
That's a 67 over 60, but you can't spend luck on push rolls, so.
I'm afraid not. And you hear the kind of beep and the ding, and Eric, you hear this as well as the game suddenly pauses. And in some ways, maybe you succeeded in other ways, in that he looks at you and says, look, if my mom can't pay you, then soon my dad will be here and he can give you whatever money that she needs for her medicine. And I don't see, none of the others have to bother me. Just leave me alone.
We're not looking for money. Your mom's a drug addict. We're here to help you. You need to get off these video games.
And you see faces of conflicting emotion kind of cross his face, and it goes from kind of panic and fear to anger and frustration, and then suddenly his eyes roll into the back of his head, and he kind of just passes out directly over backwards onto the floor.
Damn it, John, that didn't help. Go.
I know. I don't know what came over me. I lost my temper. I'm going to go.
Kid having a seizure?
Like, a passed out kid on the floor, and I'm a nurse, so I'm going to go to the kid and I'm going to see if he's okay.
Yeah.
Can I do a first aid or?
Yeah, give me a first
Probably
aid.
fumble this one too, but that is a success. Actually, I got a regular success, a 72.
And you rouse him, and his eyes kind of flutter for a second before they roll back in. Give me a spot hidden.
Yep. That's a 42, and my spot hidden, that is a success, regular success.
God, you could have been sure that his eyes were green, and they are kind of more gray now. And yeah, don't fucking touch me with your fucking dirty hands, you fucking addict. I know you. I know the things you've done to yourself, the things you've done to others.
Look, I'm a nurse. I'm here to help you.
And Sean pushes himself back up and rises to his feet, almost in a way that belies a level of adultness that you wouldn't have expected him previously. And he says, "You make me sick. You fucking creep, you addict. Why didn't you just finish the job, hey? You were halfway there."
Hey, don't talk to him that way.
Oh, fuck, get real, you. One addict defending another? What a shock. Yeah, you left a bit of a trail of bodies in your wake too, didn't you? Yeah. Do you ever think about her? Do you ever think about her?
That's not your business.
Maybe late at night you do.
What's with the language coming out of the living room?
Yeah, you could overhear, is it?
Yeah. What in the world is going on?
Look, we just came here to help your mom. She passed out just like you did, and we're trying to help her. We're trying to help her. We're friends from way back. We've been friends with your mom since before you were born.
Yeah, well,
she asked us for help.
Something tells me you should be more worried about helping yourselves at this point.
Help ourselves from what?
Well, payments due. And he looks away, and you see the shoulders slump a little bit, and realize this sort of, again, unhealthy kind of looking 9-year-old looks back up at you with green eyes and sees Alicia and says, what's happening? Did I faint?
Oh, yes, you fainted, but it's okay. Could somebody I yell over at Alicia and Melinda, and I say, could we get a glass of water in here, please, from the kitchen?
Yes, I'll get one right now. Should we call 911?
I think I made my first aid. It just looked like he just fainted. So, but the eye color change, I definitely noticed.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have you roll a sanity at that point.
Yeah.
And maybe Eric too. Yeah,
I'm gonna go sit down. I'm gonna go sit down. Sorry.
That is a success, a 15. So
Okay.
maybe because of the light, I couldn't tell what color the eyes were at first.
You've already been feeling a little bit unnerved and been wary, so I'm going to still cost you 1. But Eric, how about you?
I get to go to maybe there's like a second chair, an armchair, and I'm gonna sit down. Probably where I had to stack the envelopes I was looking through, but I failed. So
yeah.
As I hand Sean the glass of water, I'm going to sort of say quietly in John's ear, if he's exposed to drugs in his house, he may have taken them. Children think it's candy.
Yes.
But he's displaying that sort of bipolar that his mother is.
It's either drug induced or it's a psychological condition. It's one or the other.
That's why I suggest 911.
Yeah, psychological or drugged, but really though, is there another explanation? Is there something else that it could be? You've got to start to be wondering a little bit. No.
This isn't bipolar. I don't know. I mean, can't speak in front of him.
He knows shit.
Yeah.
God, Sarah knows shit. How did Sarah know about Eric? How did this kid know anything about your past? Do you think Sarah talks about you guys? I doubt it. It's
anyone who I'm going back into the kitchen, and anyone who's coming, because I don't want to be with the boy. But if anyone is coming into the kitchen with me, I will say, look, this is what we were hearing. It isn't bipolar. Bipolar, it's sort of, there is depressed and there is manic, and it's not that. And there's something cruel about the other voice which we heard, and not just from that boy, but also from Sarah. And it's a particular perspective that we're hearing, and it's judging us as individuals.
I'm gonna have Alicia and Eric both roll a sanity check at this point, because Melinda has a point. That is the voice. That is almost the way of speaking, everything that you heard when Sarah was talking to you guys in the car, when Sarah was making threats.
I'm currently actually sitting in the other room, but I still
gotcha.
the first sanity.
Okay, so the first was just give yourself a D4 -1 minimum 1, Sawyer, for Eric.
But what was it that he said that upset you all? Did John? You're practically pale. Did he? You guys have said that Sarah said some things that she couldn't have known. Did this boy do the same? I just heard the foul language. I didn't hear anything. You guys are leading me towards the idea that, is it like demonic possession?
On that note, let's do a hard cut outside where Ray sits with Bowser. And I'm sorry, Maggie, we're keeping you in suspense a little longer. But Ray, what are you thinking about while you sit with Bowser outside?
Well, I have been looking inside the window, had everything going on with the kid. And yeah, that is really strange. I'm definitely going to be getting into contact with David. To see, I mean, if he'll let me in on it. He used to tell me all of his plans, and like I was his go-to guy to help prepare for the rituals and stuff. So I should be able to, talk shop with him and see what the hell he's doing now that kids are involved.
You kind of think back to that one Halloween back at Northtown when you guys were in that society, and you remember standing with him outside the kind of meeting hall where you were maybe had a little setup for a meeting night of the NUOS, and you remember him standing there with you and saying, "This is going to be amazing, right? Think of all the chicks we'll get. This is like everything is perfect. We have our own little club here. This is like we're calling the shots now." Oh man, you never were one to look at the big picture. I mean, there's so much possibility and so everything going on right now. This is living life. You know, I have been thinking that as we set this up, that I would like, as we expand, we get more people, but from beginning to end, we keep it so that there's like just us. We're kind of like a subset or a group of our own. And I got a list here, and he passes you this list, and he says, "This is who I'm thinking. We're gonna be the inner core."
Yeah, that's a lot of the people that are in this house right now. But yeah, the Northtown University Occult Society 13 was David Barber, Ray West, Melinda Moody, Mary Cubine, John Vonneker, Stacy Kimball, Alicia Junico, Nathan Held, Bridget Allen, Maggie Stern, Sarah Moore, Eric Wilson, Greg Draper. We were the main group.
What do you think?
That's yeah. Well, we're gonna have a lot of people applying that aren't gonna make it into that group as well.
Yeah, probably, but you know what? They'll come, go. We'll figure it out. So, who are you thinking? Who do you like?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'll need to get to know them first, you know. I'm still in it for the party and the drugs, and I want to find something supernatural.
You know what is that there's more than enough opportunity here. Is that I have read some books, and there are things in the libraries here that, you know what, like if you do the right rituals and if you do the right things, you can have some real power. You can have power over people. And as that memory kind of simmers in your mind, you hear the sound of a vehicle driving slowly passing by, and kind of looking up from the away from the window in Bowser, you can see a police car just slowly kind of moving by. A officer's face is kind of very carefully kind of going between watching the road in front of them to kind of scanning the houses and yards as they drive by. And you can see the eyes kind of hover over you, lock onto the car, kind of slows for a second, and the person kind of looks you up and down, and then the car kind of just keeps on moving down the street.
Oh yeah, I give him a friendly wave and pet Bowser.
Looking at Bowser, you can see that Bowser just hasn't really liked it here. Happier outside than inside, but still kind of isn't quite themselves.
Yeah, I'll start talking to him, telling him that we'll be home soon.
Okay, let's shift upstairs back to Maggie. And Maggie, as you open the door, you see your mother on the other side of it. She seems to be slumped in amongst clothes on the floor of the closet. And she looks up at you with pleading eyes. Says, "Help me, Maggie."
But you're dead.
You can't go through with it. You have to find him.
Find who?
You have to find the Moonchild. And she closes her eyes and kind of, as a racking of pain goes through her body. God, those last months were hard, weren't they?
I know. I avoided them as much as I could. I avoid going to see her, and I should have seen her more, but
every ounce of frustration and animosity that had been built up over the years is felt so prevalent in your mind at that time, and you didn't, and you missed the chance, and it went by. And as you kneel there kind of at the threshold of the closet. You feel Stephanie's kind of hand on your shoulder, and she kind of whispers, Maggie, are you okay?
Uh, did did you see anything? Did you hear anything, Sarah?
Oh God, I know it's a horrible mess. I'll do laundry, but are you okay? You've turned white, and there's clearly nothing in the closet now, but
I, it's been a long day, Sarah.
Yeah,
very long day. I don't.
I'm worried about you now. Come on, come down. Let's get you some water.
Yeah, let's go downstairs and talk to the others. Do I need to make a sanity roll for that? I feel like
give me a sanity roll.
I think I do.
You bet.
And that 33 is a pass.
Okay. Yeah, still take one. That was pretty jarring, and for some reason, the longer you spend with Sarah and her family and these problems, the more you feel your own past traumas and things almost bubbling up to the surface in your mind, sort of thing. And the two of you make your way downstairs, and you can hear there's a bit of a conversation going on between Alicia and Melinda in the kitchen. You can see John is kind of watching as Sean seems to have gone back into his video game, and Eric sits on a couch. Eric, you realize that there is something poking into your side while you are sitting in the chair.
I'm gonna set aside the sort of mail I haven't even been looking at it and scoot over and look at what's been poking me.
Yeah, it looks like another piece of mail, actually, it's a community. Oh, interesting. It's actually the Northtown Inquirer. And as you pull up the newspaper in front of you, you see a familiar face on the front cover. Actually, you see your own face among the faces.
Northtown Inquirer. Shocking violence in Northtown. College sports win streak album reviews. 3 separate things. Mass murder and suicide as local man violently dismembers nosy friends. By Melinda Moody. I kind of look up to the other room. Yeah. Violence broke out in a suburban home in Northtown's Arborville as local IT developer David Barber found several old friends sticking their noses where they don't belong. Recently, several of Barber's sordid secrets have begun to come into the light as he steadily lost the control maintained for so long on his special group of friends. Neighbors overheard the noise and rushed to the scene, only to watch as David used various weapons to finish the last of the group to die. Amateur and voyeuristic novelist Ray West, but not before making West observe the death of his beloved pet dog Bowser. This reporter can certify all these sad fucks had it coming. The 11 bodies found at the scene were the other inner members of the NOUS Barber had led nearly 2 decades ago. At the scene of the crime, we had a chance to speak to the murdered victim, Nathan Held, who claimed, of course, he was innocent, but we know that is a goddamn fucking lie. Deceased teaching assistant Bridget Barber, speaking with a knife buried in her neck, possibly the dumbest of the entire bunch, maintained that her husband meant well but sometimes could get in over his head. As it turns out, David's head did not survive the encounter, and as the police closed in, he placed a barrel of a small pistol in his mouth. This continues on page... I'm going to just throw it down. And just kind of throw it down on the floor and kind of kick it away. Actually, probably kick it away from Sean because, I'm kind of right behind Sean. What the hell is this? there's no date on it or anything. Oh,
Mike, you're muted.
Thank you. Yes, it actually has the date on it, and it's tomorrow's date.
Oh wait, I see it now. Yes. Yeah. I maybe he's too busy looking at his own the pictures and then the ensuing article, but yeah, I'm gonna roll sanity because. Yes,
please do. Yeah, you see your own face staring up at you from one of the pictures.
That's another failure.
Oh no! Take another D4.
And we'll see how the D4 does. But
when John sees this and he sees the the newsletter, he'll probably go over and pick it up to see what Eric is throwing around, and he's like, Eric, what's wrong?
Some creepy shit.
I'll pick it up. What's wrong, Eric?
Don't look at it. And I'm gonna try to take it out of his hands.
And when he tries to take it out of my hands, like John is gonna be like, there's got to be something on there. John glances at it, the headline. Yeah. Does he see the same headline or something different?
Yeah, you know what? Give me a luck roll, John, to see. Right. It's more like an unluck roll.
Okay. That is a pass on the luck.
It's a pass. Yeah. You can't read the story really, but you get a glimpse of the fact that your picture's on it amongst your current companions as well as David's. And yeah, I think you see the headline, but none of the story really.
It's saying we're going to kill a bunch of people. Someone insane wrote it. It must have been Sarah or Sean or something. It must have been like how they're talking.
Melinda wrote it.
And I look at the thing again. I'm not trying to keep it that away, but I don't particularly,
Yeah. When John, and you're kind of specifically holding it away from John?
You can probably see it now. You don't want to, it's insane. Sorry, the stress, everything's getting to me.
I think John is curious, so he wants to.
And I kind of have it in my hand, and I'm not really holding on.
Just let me see it, Eric.
Yeah.
You flip around and look to the next page, and you can see that there is an ad about the Northtown Lions winning their most recent game, and a few other articles. You can see there's ads for Northtown Mazda and Dalmer Chev and all these. This by all means appears to be a legitimate newspaper.
Yeah. And I look back to the front page.
Yeah, and it's the same. And you can see your own face staring back at you along with Ray's and Melinda's and Eric's and Maggie and Alicia.
Yeah, and tomorrow's date.
Front and center, David Barber.
This is a threat. This is not okay. Somebody's threatening us.
What have you found in there?
Yeah, I'm going to head into the kitchen at this point. Yeah. I'm going to show Alicia and Melinda too, if she wants to look, to say, look, Eric found this.
As you go into the kitchen saying that, you can see Maggie and Sarah are coming down the stairs and joining everyone in the kitchen as well.
I'll step over to the kitchen too at this point, probably looking visibly distressed.
Yeah, and John, does this distress you at all seeing it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'll bother you for a sanity roll then before we proceed.
Well, look, Melinda, it's the Northtown Inquirer. Don't you write for that newspaper?
Yeah. Oh, can I have a look?
Sure. I'm gonna lay
the sanity loss
thing. I'm gonna lay it like on the kitchen table or something, assuming there's a kitchen table in there, just so anybody that wants to look at it can look at it.
It's got tomorrow's date on it.
Is the Inquirer a daily newspaper or a weekly one?
A weekly one, yeah. Tomorrow, Sunday, is usually the day it would come out.
All right.
Or maybe there's a big issue Sunday and then there's little issues throughout the week or something like that. But yeah.
Okay.
Somebody's threatening it.
If I look at it, what I see is what I see. Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. what you see is what you see. As far as you can tell, it appears to be legitimate. Of course, as the author of this so-called article, you'll definitely be getting a sanity roll. But I think I'm going to have you roll a spot hidden as well.
All right, I'll roll the sanity first. Okay.
Okay, yeah, maybe that's better. Maybe that's even better. Yeah, let's do that first.
Oh, well, that would be a fail.
That would be a fail. Oh, yeah, I'm going to give you a D6 just because it is. Oh, no, a D4 for Alicia looking over your shoulder. Alicia, where did you leave the photo you found, by the way?
I stuck it back up on the fridge.
Stuck it on the fridge.
Okay.
2 points of sanity loss.
3.
And now I don't have a spot hidden except for the default, by the way. I know this is this is the most important thing for a character in any kind of game.
Yeah.
But my spot hidden is just the default at 25%, curiously. As a journalist, I've never had to look for things.
And sorry, you failed your sanity roll?
Yes.
And what was the amount?
2 points.
2 points. Okay. You know what? I think with the fail, we'll skip the spot hidden. And what happens instead with the failed roll is that you are completely sure that had this happened and you somehow been a outside bystander to it, that you could have written this story, that it is authentically in your voice, albeit not maybe the voice that you'd write newspaper stories with, but there is elements of dark humor or cynical humor in it that you could hear coming out of your own mouth. And I mean, not quite as foul as Maggie might be about it, but certainly, there are elements. And as you're saying that, you hear Sarah exclaim suddenly beside you, "What the fuck?" And you realize that she's staring directly at the fridge. And we'll swap outside to Ray. Ray, you can hear there's some things happening inside the house. There's some movement. The others seem to have left your sight and gone into the kitchen. You can see kind of through the open front door. You can see Sean's gaming continues, and but at the kind of the front of the yard, a group of teens have kind of walked out in front of them, and several of them are talking before one girl separates herself. Well, maybe not teen, maybe very, very, you'd guess probably 18, 19 years old, before she separates from the others and begins to walk, takes a few steps up the walkway before she stops cold and stares directly at you and says, "Who the fuck are you?"
Oh, hello, I'm Ray. This is Bowser. Sorry, do you live here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you?
Your mom?
I don't think so.
Called a lot of people over, so there's a lot of people in there right now.
Great.
Yeah, sorry. You can get by.
Fucking here to what, make things even worse for us?
Well, things look pretty bad. I'm hoping I can help, but I don't know how much I can.
Just tell me one thing then, okay? If there's a whole bunch of you in there,
sure.
Is Nathan there?
No. As far as I know, we haven't seen Nathan since we were in school together.
Fuck. Okay.
But
good.
Sarah has, huh? Your mom?
Oh yeah, he's around often enough. Fucking asshole.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
Nah, whatever, Grandpa. Get out of my fucking way.
Oh, off you are.
Nice dog, by the way.
Thanks.
Okay, look, there's a mistake. You see the mistake? The mistake is whoever faked this has put Melinda's name as the writer of the article, but he's also included her picture amongst the victims. You can't be a victim and be the writer at the same time. This is obviously made up by somebody with Photoshop or whatever they call it.
Sure. And there were other dead people who were talking in the article. So, I mean, it's nasty bullshit. And there's a way
to frighten us.
You know what the voice sounds.
Who fucking put that there? Fuck.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear. I did. I found it on the floor. I thought it just fell down.
I'm starting to get the feeling that maybe you guys aren't that really interested in helping me. You're just digging up and looking in my stuff to embarrass me or what? Fuck.
We're just trying to clean up, dear.
Yeah, well,
trying to help you out.
You should have fucking left that picture where you found it. Jesus,
on the floor.
And you hear the door in between the living room and the kitchen open at that point, and Angelica steps in and says, "Mom, did you remember to get groceries? I think all Sean's eaten today are these chips." And Sarah's like, "Oh, I just can't right now, okay? Fuck, Angelica, can you get off my back?" And you see Angelica struggling to control herself, and she looks at you and he says, "What, you're just having a fucking party in here? And my God, you are a terrible mom. Fuck." And she storms out and storms up the steps, and Sarah looks like she's literally at the point of breaking and crying, and just see what you've done now.
We got to get some food for your family. Like, Maggie's starting to freak out. She's still freaking out what she saw upstairs, and she's kind of peripherally hearing about this article. She doesn't want to deal with it right now. She's let me get some pizzas or something. We'll bring pizzas in, and we'll all eat. We'll all eat, and then we could all eat some food. Yeah, let's
get out of here.
Yeah, let's go get pizzas.
Yeah.
Frankly, I wouldn't mind going with you also.
Maybe we could just all get out of the house right now and give them some space for now.
Yeah.
They're just upset. And if Sarah is really upset by this picture, I just snatch it off the refrigerator and I put it away. I just stuff it down my pocket so she doesn't have to see it. Because obviously it's upsetting her.
She looks at you and says, "Do me a favor, John, and burn that fucking thing."
You got it, Sarah.
Right.
Maggie, Sarah, we should probably just let you and your family settle down for the evening. Do you want us to send you food or anything? We can. I think we need to get out of here. And
yeah, we'll send you some food. We'll send you some food. So on us.
And there's a second where she softens, and you can see you get through, and there's maybe a little part of Sarah Moore that doesn't want to be this way. And if she really, you can get the feeling that she wants your help and wants to take your help, but is it the pride or the damage already done or something? It locks back in, and she's like, "No, thank you. You've helped enough. I need some space right now."
Yeah. Guys, let's go and get something to eat at a diner or something. And we're sending pizzas over. You guys have to eat something for dinner.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got cell phones. We can just order
online
and just use our credit card and just send it to the house. So your food is on its way.
We'll talk tomorrow. You get some sleep, please. You need some sleep, and you need to eat something. And we'll talk more tomorrow when we're less tired.
Yeah.
I'll take the newspaper from the kitchen table, and then I will, in the garden, before we go any further, I'll take a photograph of the front page, because I don't want the picture changing like it did of the one of the missing person.
Yeah.
Poster.
Let's head over to Applebee's and talk. They've got that room where they've got the table and we can sit in there.
Good idea. I think we need to talk away from the situation and just figure out what we're doing or what we even possibly can do to help.
I see it.
Keeper, what time is it?
It's probably mid to late afternoon. You guys probably spent maybe I'm stretching it to say 2 hours there. So yeah, maybe coming up on 4.
Yeah, so it's coming up
so
around
we'll beat,
a little bit.
We'll beat the dinner rush.
Yeah. You might be a little early for something, but
so I can see. I hate to say it. I'm trying to be objective because this was very strange day. very strange. Either there is something very supernatural going on, or we're being tricked. We're being set up. That newspaper is nonsense.
You're right. You're right, Alicia. There's absolutely no way that David is gaslighting her, trying to get the kid or something, and he's taking advantage of the fact that she's an addict, and now he's trying to do it to us. So we need to get away from this situation for a bit.
I hate to say it, but I think Sarah might be doing it to us too. This might be some scheme to get money out of us or something. It's a horrible thing to do, but maybe she's that desperate. But somebody went to the trouble of making that fake newspaper.
No, she got Sean on it too. If that's Alicia, if you're saying she is on a scam, Sean's on it too. He knew things he shouldn't have.
He was acting the same way she was.
No,
the eyes changed color. It changed from blue to gray. I saw it. I'm sure of it.
And I hate to say it, what if there is something supernatural? We need to find out everything that we can about this moon goddess. I mean, what moon goddess? Which religion? Which mythology?
Is the newspaper still here for me to look at?
Yeah. Yes, Melinda has
pictures. Yeah, and I still see everything that they do.
Yeah, and I think by now you've heard enough about it from the others discussing and talking that the impact of it is a little bit blunted, and it's been presented to you clearly as a fake. It can't possibly be real, and yet maybe with the clearest mind of all on it, Ray's, there's things in it that don't altogether add up either.
She said,
Here's what's bugging me. Listen, we've only been on this case, we've only been doing this for a few hours. So somebody had the presence of mind to print this up with our pictures in it. And how would they even know that we were trying to help Sarah? I mean, we've only been helping her a few hours.
They could have
said, this seems like a scheme. This seems like they're trying to do a self-fulfilling prophecy where they could lure us by showing that.
Yeah. They've researched us for a month beforehand and then
this
How
is
did they
deeper
know all
than
six
that.
of us were going to show up?
This is David. This is Angelica complained to me about Nathan Held. He was one of the 13 with us. I think that David is still running some kind of cult.
Not all the people on that list are here.
John,
Greg is passed. You know that.
John,
the rest of the list is what was in that newspaper.
Yeah,
it's a magic trick. They do that where you sign a card and then suddenly the card comes out of the fish tank or whatever.
I think it's a lot simpler than that. I think somebody dosed us with some kind of hallucinogen. Maybe when we're at that coffee shop, that's why we think we're seeing stuff. I don't know. It's not real. They're trying to gaslight us.
I've taken drugs. Nothing here seems like the way you feel when you've been drugged.
There's something going on. There is magic in this world.
Yeah, there is magic. If I was to ask the Buddhist group, which I go to, about what's happened to us today. Under Buddhism, there is not like good versus evil. It isn't a big battle like that. But what happens, people are naturally clean, but there is defilement. And I think defilement has happened here. Something very bad has come through from somewhere else. And it seems to be powerful. And I think it has something to do. I think David was always, he was always interested in this kind of thing, but he was charismatic and he was a reasonable guy for a while, even though he was a bit manipulative, but he was okay. But when we had that magic ceremony, I believe that something came through there, and that something defiled David afterwards when he went in for his treatment. And I think since then things have been getting worse, and I think Sarah is defiled. I think that poor boy Sean
You're
is
talking
defiled.
Back when we went into the woods?
When we went into the woods and we had that magic ceremony, and I think we have signed on the dotted line. we are on the hook for something, and that really scares me because we can't.
Well, that was.
How does that
I
sound?
mean, I helped him set up for all of that. He talked to me about what he hoped it would do, but back then he talked about it being the mother goddess.
Ray, did he ever mention a book of some sort?
I mean, he was always going through books. Yeah,
lots.
Maggie,
of books.
You're the book expert here.
The servers.
Where's the best resource? Where's the best resource?
Oh, you know what? One of the people that was in our society that was on, is Nathan, and he's the head librarian at the local library. So why don't we drop by there tomorrow and see Nathan, and we can look up anything we need, and we could.
Nathan is still probably in cahoots with David and is frequenting Sarah's house and might be the one that's abusing.
Okay.
Why don't anyone who wants to go, why don't we go back to Center City tomorrow and we can go to my bookshop? There's got to be something that we can research there. I have
how far is it from here? It's only mid-afternoon. We've got
I guess we
plenty
could.
of time.
Why don't we eat and then go over to and then drive down to Center City?
Yeah.
And we can go to my bookshop.
Another possibility is that we can, and it's a bit illegal, John, but maybe you can get the medical records that David had from when he was in the mental hospital. And we can also check out on Sonia there, but we can find out what David was on Stacy. Sorry, we can find out what David was saying when he was going through that kind of a transformation. But I don't think it's possible for that newspaper to have been printed ahead of time. I think it's kind of this that there is weird shit happening, and maybe I read the National Enquirer too much, but honestly, I believe in magic. I mean, it's taken a back seat, but it's kind of come back recently, and I've found. I mean, I haven't gone to the Ouija board yet. I haven't done a
Where is it these days? Where do you is it in your apartment somewhere?
It'll be in a closet or an attic or the attic somewhere. But
before we go to John, I was just going to ask really quickly of if anyone who is possibly the least disturbed by the newspaper, Ray comes to mind, maybe even Maggie as well. I think it's a fake. Or if you've dismissed it as a fake, give me an idea roll to see if you can spot a mistake in it.
I got a 15.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, me too. I actually got a 15.
That's funny. What
are we rolling?
An idea roll.
Idea roll.
Yeah, I was thinking anyways to really like ask Melinda to look at it with me and be like, these things. Is this the right material? Is this the right ink?
Well, that was a pass.
The funny thing is a line almost right in the middle. This reporter can certify all these sad fucks had it coming. The 11 bodies found at the scene were the other inner members of the NUOS that Barbara had led nearly 2 decades before.
Yeah.
There's 12, not 13.
There's
Who's missing? See, they did rush this. They missed one.
Sorry.
It's got to be a fake.
Maybe Stacy is not there because she's.
Or maybe Nathan has the means to produce this as a librarian and he's counting himself out.
Yeah. Anyways, who knows? Maybe it means nothing. Maybe it does. Anyway, it's weird. Could you guys really be in danger?
At this point, why?
Yes. If it's supernatural, we're in danger. If it's not supernatural, then some kind of psychopath is threatening us, so we're in danger. So either way, we're in danger.
Yeah.
Why are we going along with this? If it's supernatural, it's some divine punishment coming to, we've all done something wrong and it's going to destroy us all.
Well,
and if it's natural, we just go away. We don't engage in it.
If it's supernatural, then there's a way we can protect ourselves.
Yeah.
We just need to find a way. That's why we need some research.
Heavy talk, but how is everyone's entree so far? You can see the server kind of awkwardly interrupting and looking out at you guys.
It's incredibly mediocre, which is Applebee's.
Can I have a box?
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone else? Oh, we gotta get you a refill of water there. Yep, there you go.
I'm willing to donate some of my leftovers to Bowser. Look over at Ray if Bowser is interested.
No, yeah. I had a salad, so I ate the salad.
Okay, well, separate bills, sorry, or combine it all?
I can get everything.
Oh, that's very sweet of you, Eric.
Thank you. Thank you, Eric.
Oh,
and I'm handing Eric some cash for my share. I'm like, I insist, Eric.
It can be the tip.
And can we have a delivery sent somewhere, please?
Oh, yeah, of course. And you're thinking for Sarah Moore's house?
Yeah. So
and,
we'll put together some pizzas or whatever it is that.
Yeah, you're able to arrange that and get that all set up. And minutes later, your bill's paid and you're headed out of the restaurant.
All right.
Oh.
Well, who wants to go back with me to Center City and go to my bookshop?
I'll go with you. I'd like to see if we can find some background moon goddess stuff.
I'm going to head back to back to my hospital. I'm going to see if I can find Stacy there, and also, as Melinda suggested, to see if I can find any documents on David's time there. Anybody that wants to come with me is welcome to come with me.
I'll come along.
Okay, Melinda.
It's all in computers nowadays. You should be able to cross-reference it somehow.
Yeah. But I want to check in on Stacy personally, so.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a thought. This might be out of game first, but as a club, did we have any place we met or more likely archived things? Like maybe we had a fund where we got like supplies for stuff. It's been 20 years, but maybe
we
just
probably had
that.
But you were treasurer, so it's
probably had a club historian that kept a box full of
probably
papers.
Is there
really
still an
old AOL.
Is there still an occult society at the school with current students?
You know what? You're not sure actually, but you did have kind of a specific space that was designated at the university. You're not sure if it's very likely been repurposed for something else by now, but is it possible something would exist?
Well, that stuff probably got thrown away, or it's in somebody's garage somewhere.
Or in a library.
No, I don't think they would have.
The university. No.
Yeah. Should we check on some of these other former members of our society? There's Greg, the undertaker, and Mary, the bank manager. Should somebody maybe check on one of them or both?
I think that's a good idea.
Just call him on the phone. Yeah.
Was Greg Alicia's husband? I'm sorry, I might be this is out of character.
No, that's Gary.
Gary.
Oh, Gary. Okay, sorry, the G threw me.
He wasn't part of the club.
Okay.
I met him after.
Maybe the 11 is because one of us is already dead. If we find that out through phoning up the others, then that'd be kind of creepy.
I hope Stacy's okay. Let's not waste any time.
But we should get in touch with these people. I don't know how, but maybe evening someone can give them a call and just say.
Yeah, it looks like. Well, we know that Stacy's in the hospital. David is around, obviously. So it looks like Mari, Stacy Kimball, Nathan Held. Well, there's David's wife, Bridget, and Greg Draper as well. Yeah, maybe we should talk to David's wife.
Yeah, I have the mind to go to David's house and just talk to him about this. I feel like there's the chance he might try to be violent with me, and there's no way I'm going to try to assault him or anything.
Don't go alone.
What if he's a sociopath?
I think he is. but I think that he'll talk to me.
He's going to eat your liver with fava beans and a nice Chianti. I wouldn't go there. I'd go there with a police escort.
Well,
I want to give him a chance. And also, Nathan, I feel like it's much more likely that Nathan would be violent, but I want to go to the library and just ask him what the hell he's doing.
What's your suspicion?
Seems like he might be the one going into that house and bringing violence to, you know.
I don't think anybody should go alone. I think we should split up into 3 groups of 2. So Melinda and I will go to the hospital. Ray, you will either go to see David or go to the library with somebody else.
Well, yeah, if we're in the buddy system, then it's me and Eric. Eric, what do you want to do?
Eric, and then Alicia and Maggie, you guys wanted to go back to the bookstore to see if maybe find any information on the moon goddess or anything else.
Sounds like a plan.
Look up blood oaths specifically.
Yeah, we've all got phones. If anything happens, call. Let's get everybody on
keep everyone
on the contacts, you know.
Before you separate, did you want to message any of the others or try to call or anything like that, or do that after? Did you want to try to reach out over Facebook or?
I kind of like Facebook. That's a good idea.
Maybe DM them.
2013 now.
Ask them to give us a call. Let me not spill the beans or anything, but just ask them if they could give us a call. I mean, we know where Stacy is. That's the only one.
Oh.
But not like Nathan and Bridget and David, just the others.
We could ask Sarah if she reached out to anyone else. We're just the ones that answered.
I think we need to leave Sarah all alone.
Yeah, for a bit. She definitely shot up again when she was in the room up there. So I don't know where she's at. I mean, maybe we should just let the police handle this. Have them. I mean, if they go to that house.
That's darlings, I'd like to say that I've had a great deal of fun meeting you all for once again, but I didn't imagine that there would be all of this hullabaloo.
This is not what I was expecting.
It was nice for the first few moments.
Yeah.
It is good to connect with you guys. I mean, Sarah has some problems, but I feel for the rest of us. We're connected like the years are nothing. It's been really good. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Somehow
the best.
Somehow that connection has gone beyond the 13 of you, and you see it now. Whatever's wrong, you see that not only are you drawn into this, but this kid Sean, if whether he is or isn't the Moonchild, you remember him sitting there engaged in his game or sucked into his game, but also scared and also frustrated and also angry. You remember Angelica coming into the house as almost essentially being forced into the role kind of almost being Sean's mom. She's the one worried about if there's food to eat and while Sarah's completely preoccupied with other things. And for a second, you wonder even about Michael, David and Bridget's son, is how has this affected him? What are the things that he's seen and been confronted with? And the 6 of you begin to pair off into your pairs and go your separate way. Was anyone particular reaching out to any of the others?
We're going to make sure that you get notified.
Yeah. Who's sending the messages, I guess, is what I'm looking for.
While I'm driving, do you want to do that on your cell phone, Alicia? Everybody.
I don't have everybody's phone number, but I have a couple of the phone numbers.
Yeah. Here, take my phone. See, I might have connections on my Facebook. You could probably DM them from my account. Hopefully together, the both of us have the friends covered.
Do you want to have conversations with them, or do you want me to just tell you in general?
I want to ask them.
I'm actually talking to the GM in that case.
Sorry.
Yeah. You could text them. You could try to call them.
I'll text them or call them, but I'll I'll just be telling them that there's something very disturbing going on that has to do with David, and be wary if he tries to contact you. We think that he may be mentally ill.
Are you opening with that? Just sending that, hey, how are you doing? Just wanted to let you know that our former friend has lost his mind and is.
Oh, well, no, I guess I'll give them a little bit more. I'll tell them, I'm sorry it's been so long since I've contacted you. We were contacted recently by Sarah, and she sort of has pulled us into the situation. We think there's a real mess going on. And then I'll lead in that there may be, David might have some uh, violent mental problem. If he tries to contact you or anything like that, be very cautious.
Yeah. No answer from Marie, but after you send to Greg Draper, you see that the message has been seen, and you could see the dot 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 dot, dot writing back. You keep driving. Maggie, you pull up and stop at a red light as Alicia could confirm that, yeah, no, it looks like he's writing back. And a message comes back and says, holy shit, Alicia. Oh my, and it's just written in plain text and says, can't believe I'm hearing from you. Oh, that is crazy what you're saying about David. Hey, I haven't heard from anyone for ages, so don't worry about me. But I haven't even thought about those days. Sometime if you're interested, maybe we should meet up. I have got a story to tell you. Yeah, you're not going to believe it, but let me know if you want to meet up sometime soon. I'd love to see you and the others.
Before we split up, I'm going back now.
Okay.
Before we split up, can we say that we have decided on a place to meet tomorrow?
Yeah.
We'll say for breakfast.
Denny's.
Yeah. Where?
Denny's.
We'll meet at Denny's tomorrow.
That is a classic.
In the case of Greg, I'll say that sounds very interesting. We're going to be meeting tomorrow at Denny's. Blah blah blah. If you want to show up, we'll be there.
And
that's going to be the gist of all my conversations.
It sits there for a minute before he types up and says, sounds good, but I might have to get you to help me cut my pancakes. And it cuts from that to the others. Ray and Eric are driving.
Yeah.
Where were you guys headed in the end? Are you headed to David's house?
I was asking Eric what he would like to do.
Well, personally, I'd like to get as far away from here as possible. This isn't good for me and my health. And I think we're just damaging ourselves farther. But I want to at least, I don't know, I want to at least see the situation David is in. Not even if, directly talking to him. How is he living? What's his house look like? Is there anything else?
Yeah, well, they've been saying messed up stuff, like just how they're saying, like, if we whatever is causing them to sound scary and evil, they're saying that David is trying to kill you. Like, I mean, yeah, how do you feel about that? Do you want to ask him about it, or do you want some space?
I don't want to talk to him. I forget who said it earlier. This is a police matter, but I don't know. I guess I'm expecting something to happen to show up, some sort of closure or information, but I think, I don't know, maybe we'd only start further issues. Maybe we'd only feed into it. Perhaps maybe the library is a better option.
Yeah, that's definitely, like, it seems like it's a public place, we have any reason to be there. It's not like we're intruding on someone's house.
And it's not like we're we look the same. I mean, even if
And to some extent, there might be Bridget and Michael to consider as well.
we look very different than when we did, I think. At least I did. I do. Sorry. 20 years is a lot, or how long has it been?
Yeah, about that, yeah. We'll flash over to the other car, Melinda and John. We're getting close to wrapping up, but we'll just wrap up a few of these conversations. You guys are headed to the hospital.
Hi, John. So, what do you make of it all?
Yeah, what I make of it is there's no rational like explanation for some of the things we've seen. Um, the newspaper, like I don't like we've only been on the case like a few hours and they've already got that printed. The way that Sean was talking, the way that Sarah was talking, yeah, there's something otherworldly going on here, and I'm becoming more and more concerned about it. What do you think, Melinda?
Yeah, I mean, I feel out of all of us, you and I, what we had in common was maybe we actually believed in the magic, or maybe more than the others.
Hmm.
And so I don't believe there were any chemicals we put in our coffee
No,
this morning
no,
because the experience has been communal.
yes,
It's not like an individual
yes.
fantasy or
That
fugue or
newspaper is not
whatever.
a hoax. I mean, maybe Sarah could be like, acting, but I don't believe Sean, a 9-year-old kid, could be acting and going back and forth like that. There's something like you said, there's something that has infected what's going on.
And yet, you both have your own ways of getting answers, don't you?
Yes.
Well, we do, but I mean, I have two ways of getting answers, and one is I could go back to the Ouija board, but honestly, I'm really scared to do that because I feel that I mean, it might just channel the darkness into me more. Um, and what I want is to find the answer to this. And if the
I've got a
Ouija
better
board,
I've got something better. I've got my tarot cards. I don't feel like I'm connected with the darkness. They've done good for me in the past. There's been I mean, my life was a mess. I mean, I wasn't even better off than Sarah at one point in my life. I was homeless, I was an addict, and the tarot cards directed me to get help, to get counseling, to get my life back on track. And and they've always worked. It's like any question that I have, I can play the cards, I can concentrate, and I can get an answer. And that answer is either going to be yes or that answer is going to be no. But it's always been right. I mean, it like never lies. So if you're looking for an answer, if you're looking for answers, think of a question. Like think of a question that you want a yes or no answer to, and then I believe I can find you the answer to that question.
right? I
Do you
mean, for me,
think that is there a spot in the hospital that you think that you could have some privacy to do something like that?
Yeah, I would say John, maybe he has his own office or something, or
Yeah.
no, maybe not. He's a nurse, not a doctor, but
Mm.
um I guess we could go to a janitor's closet if we have to, but um
they probably have some counseling rooms,
yeah, yeah,
which are
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
not which are normally used more 9 to 5. And if
He
we're out of
probably has
those,
an office that he shares with other people, but they're not like in there all the time. So yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think I
mean,
can find a place for privacy for sure.
I'm I'm okay to do a Ouija board at some point, but at the moment I'm so shaken by everything. I mean, the idea of if someone can produce a newspaper like that, then why couldn't they kind of interfere with a Ouija? I just don't know. It doesn't feel safe anymore, particularly since so much of the psychic stuff that I did involved David back in the day.
Yeah.
And he was someone who I did have a personal connection to at some level. I'm not going to lie. maybe one reason why my name appears relatively high on the list when they had the 13 on that piece of paper that we saw, and I just don't feel quite safe yet. But maybe we can do the tarot first, and let's see.
Yes.
But the other thing is, you have found your own way back into the light, John. I'm so happy. I haven't said this, but I'm so happy the way this has worked out for you in your life so far. It's wonderful. And for me, I found the Buddhist community, and there are people there who I would want to speak about. I mean, I'm not sure what they would understand from this, but certainly.
Isn't that funny that you both had those dark periods of your life? As like, and when you think about them, for John and for Melinda, they almost kind of overlap a bit, like the timing of it. It's funny when you got straightened out and when things got better for you, Melinda, it's kind of funny how it just suddenly the universe got a little bit better for you both.
Yeah, that's right. I hadn't thought about that, John. I mean, we've both been through a similar journey and same kind of time scale.
Yeah, and you think maybe a little bit about some of Eric's problems and everything he went through, and from what he explains, God, I wonder what the timing is on that. And just like that, I'm going to switch to Maggie for a second. Maggie, I need you to make me a power roll.
Sure. That's a 54 under 60. So success.
Okay. We were looking for a hard on that one, and you hear the two of you are sitting stopped at this red light. You're sitting with Alicia, and suddenly the truck behind you pulls up beside you and slams on the gas as it veers into the intersection in front of you, holding down the horn as it slams by, and other vehicles around are honking, and the next car in line pulls around you and unrolls the window enough to yell profanity at you and goes on. And you the two of you snap out of it and realize that you're essentially sitting in the middle of the intersection. The light's been green for who knows how long, and you're not sure how long into the light change that you've been sitting through it, but you would have both sworn it was red. And in fact, actually looking up, it still is red. And yet you can see coming the other directions, people are stopped and waiting, and other people in their vehicles are looking at you and
go.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm going to just get out the intersection and just pull over to the side because I have no idea. It's like a time loss or something.
And that's where we'll wrap up for tonight.
Our players included Sawyer Hill, Andrew Buchanan, Joe Bardalis, Kaylin McDowell, Justin Bumgardner, and myself, with Mike McKen as the Keeper of Arcane Lore. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.